Fix what I couldn't see. Eating clean, playing my part. Still something breaking inside my heart. I was doing everything right, and everything kept getting worse. Following every line they drew, still ended up in reverse. Five pills lined up on the sink, each one telling me what to think. Said give it time, you'll be okay. But I kept drifting further away. I was doing everything right, and everything kept getting worse. Gave them everything I had, still couldn't break that curse. Then one day I just let it go. Stopped chasing what I didn't know. Took one step, changed one thing, turned my back on everything. This is my why. North Dakota Carnivore changed my life. Kept it simple, stripped it down, turned it all the way around. Lost the weight, cleared my mind, left that old road far behind. What I found was something true, did it myself, and so can you.
And good Sunday morning to y'all. How you doing today? My name is Lance. I am the North Dakota Carnivore. And just hanging out today, having a wonderful day. I've already went out and had a walk done today. Actually walked to the stores again last night before I went to bed. I didn't take anything out for breakfast this morning. So I'm trying something a little bit different with my fat to protein ratio. So I'm just trying to experiment a little bit and see what the differences are as far as my body goes. So got the other chat up here finally. I remembered to do that right away. We had Aaron come in this morning and say that he was going to be pumping today and tomorrow, and he'd have to catch the replays. That happens. So have a great day, Aaron. Wisecracker, hey, it's nice to see you in the chat this morning. Wisecracker says I do briskets in the oven covered aluminum pan with lid catering style. 3rd gallon of water, oven temp 265, 6 hours. Gives you a 180 to 200 internal temp. Lots of gelatin in the fat, Ziploc portion. Freezer 12, 15 meals. 70, $80. So tender. I'm thinking about trying it with hamburger tube just for kicks. One and done meal prep. No grease splatter. The gelatin tastes so good. It does. It's actually some really great way to do that wisecracker. Well, Aaron is here and says good morning right at 10 o'clock. Brian, good morning. It's nice to see you this morning. Oh, you just got done at the gym. Games got delayed because of the rain. No rain here today. It's actually going to be a pretty nice day out today. Here's finally again. We've had this whole week has been rain and storms and just one of those fun ones. Wisecracker, you switched to the vertical. Yeah, it's playing tricks on people there. Then we have Uncle Willie on Rumble. Good morning, Uncle Willie. It's nice to see you here this morning. Don, good morning. Good morning, everybody out there delivering groceries in the rain today in Michigan. Somebody's got to do it. It's got to suck doing it, though. I would. Do they give you incentives to go out and do it in the rain like that for Spark? I know Larry's talked about that with DoorDash, where they give you incentives if it rains and stuff. Top of the morning, T. How you doing this morning? Yeah, Wisecracker's first time here, but I've seen you in Carnivore Quest, right? You've been in there talking with Larry and the crew in that group. Everybody saying good morning. You're driving down the road, we'll be in and out of the chat, yeah. You don't want to be causing issues in the chat while you're driving. That's not a good thing. Thomas, hey, good morning. How you doing? It's nice to see you here this morning. Dustin, top of the morning to you, Dustin. How you doing? It's kind of different without the kilts being on this morning, but Mitch was on. I was surprised he didn't pop in on Mitch's live stream this morning, Dustin. Isha, good morning. How are you doing? So nice to see you here this morning. Oh, thanks, Brian. A lot of good knowledge last night. I was actually in Grandma's Crochet Corner chatting in there. Learn when you sit down and you try to do a video like I did with the lipotoxicity stuff, just going through so many different things, you really learn a lot, and it's still fresh in my mind. So giving out information and sharing really comes a lot easier when you've been recently educated on something like that. Makes a big difference. Aaron says, funny, the first message from me was posted yesterday. Yes. That very first message, but on the regular stream, it's not on there anymore. YouTube's been removing posts and stuff. It's just weird. But it was still in my StreamYard because I've been in and out of here throughout yesterday, just doing different stuff on it. Yeah. Angie, good morning. Getting yourself into the pool today? Working off the keto pizza you made last night. So what do you do with your keto pizza? How do you make that? I've made pizza for my wife using a chicken breast crust. So shred up the chicken breast to make the crust with an egg and some Parmesan and mozzarella cheese so it sticks together really good. and you bake it first. Then we've used basically a homemade Alfredo sauce for the sauce, and then cheese and pepperoni and whatever else. But my wife likes stuff like that still, and I still make stuff for her. And everybody's saying good morning still. Jose, good morning. How are you doing today? It is great to see you here. How's your morning going? You never get anybody watching live on Rumble, maybe because it's too early. I didn't know you were streaming on Rumble too. I'll have to look at. I haven't found you on Rumble yet, so when I get done in here, I'll go back to Rumble and I'll look at it. Are you Keto Simple on Rumble also? Yeah, basically, I get one person on Rumble. It's Uncle Willie that comes on here and says hi. I've had a couple of people on X come in, but not very often. But a lot of times for my live streams on X, I'll have more people watching on X than I have watching on YouTube. And then some days there's absolutely nothing on X. So it's hit and miss together with that a lot. Hey, good morning, John. How are you doing today? So nice to see you here. Yeah, Wisecracker on Carnivore Quest. Yeah, you showed up there last week or so and started talking on with Larry and with the group on there. It's nice to see you on there also. Don says they used to give us incentives. Sometimes they pop up randomly. DoorDash is way more liberal with those. Walmart has pulled back from giving incentives. Yeah, my I have a daughter that does Spark, and my son and his girlfriend they do Spark, and I don't really pay a whole lot of attention to it. I know my daughter, there were different times through the year where she was trying to get certain incentives through them, but I don't remember them ever having anything specifically for if it was raining out or not, or inclement weather and delivering in it. And Dawn says she's doing talk to text, so she apologizes if something comes out wrong. I'm kind of used to that because I guess that's what my wife does too. She does the talk to text all the time, and sometimes they're really good conversations that you have. Yeah, it's always good to see you, Thomas. You've actually, I like what you said this morning. You're not an influencer, and it really makes sense what you were talking about there. You're an inspirationist. You inspire others to try something different, and you have. There are people out there who get inspired by your story and what you've done. So keep doing it. See, Thomas, great show yesterday. DC is an awesome guy. Yep, that was a good show yesterday with DC. I got to watch most of it before I got interrupted, and I ended up having to run some errands with my wife and granddaughter. Yeah, I it happened to pop up on my YouTube. I checked for Kills to see if he was there this morning, and I didn't think he was going to be, but it actually showed me that Mitch was live. And normally, I don't get notifications for Mitch. I just never have, and so I actually got to go on and watch that too. All right, so first morning without coffee. The last week or so, I've had a pain in my wrist on the inside when making a fist or gripping something. I'll get a pain in there. And the last time I had the pain like that, I gave up coffee, and it was a few days later that it went away. When I started drinking coffee again, I went back to my original coffee that I enjoyed, and it was the next morning I had that same pain in my wrist. So I think the coffee that I've been drinking recently, it's been about a month I've been drinking this coffee at work and at home. I think it was just too much. So it's time for a break from coffee, see what happens. Maybe it will go back away and I'll be all right. Everybody's still saying good morning to each other. Morning, Jeff. Everybody's getting their good mornings in. Endotoxicity info. I'm gonna try make yogurt making by Dr. William Davis. Good strains of bacteria to overwhelm the bad. Um, I did a video just the other day, Wisecracker. It was on lipotoxicity, and it's basically when your body has stored all the fat that it can. And some people, when they go to a carnivore diet, they try eating the 70 to 80% of their calories from fat, a ribeye, 80-20 ground beef, stuff like that. And they don't lose weight. You can eat a strict carnivore diet, the fatty meats, and you don't lose any weight. You don't get any benefit from it. A lot of those people that are doing that are they have lipotoxicity, which means that they can't store any more fat. So they're just burning the fat that they're eating for energy right away, and they're not burning the body fat. I learned of this through Jenny Middich with her husband, Goran. He went through it because they started at the same time, and she had great results, and he didn't. And what they found out was if they cut his fat to, I think it was 60% of his calories from fat, then he started burning his body fat, and things changed for him pretty quick after that. So it's actually pretty cool. And once you figure out what you're doing. So when people are starting a carnivore diet, if they've been on a carnivore diet and they've been eating a strict carnivore diet and they're not cheating and they're not losing weight, it's time to track and find out what you're actually eating for your macros so that you can make some changes. Yes, the pizza challenge is tonight. And I don't know who's all going to be part of that. I know Amy is doing it on her channel, but I don't know if anybody else is doing it. I know she was talking to Rick yesterday about it, and you have to deep fry the pizza crust, and she actually burnt herself doing that the other day when she was trying it. Yeah. Make a video about going back to the gym. I've never really been much of a gym person. Uncle Willie says visiting the in-laws this weekend. They are sad dieters. Keto weekend for him. Going home today, back to carnivore. That's good. It shows that you're flexible enough to be able to go from carnivore to keto, keeping it as clean as you can when you're around those that aren't eating like you. And then you can go back to it. That's actually really good. Aisha says, Aaron, have you made a video recently? I haven't gotten an alert for one in a bit. That is true. Aaron has made one in the last couple days. Dustin says, I don't know if the number that shows up watching on X are actually watching, or if that's just a number of people who have seen that you're live. Yeah, I don't know either. It's always a mystery what's going on there. It's like right now, my X just shows 2, which is all right. I don't mind. I do. There's a local guy that does watch it on X. I do know that. And then there's a gentleman down in Arizona that I know that has been on X, and he's actually been the only person on X to comment on live stream. Nice cold water. Angie says, I do all sorts of ways. Last night I threw mozzarella and Parmesan on parchment paper, then added grilled chicken breast, peppers, onions, bacon, drizzled 2 tablespoons, Muda pizza sauce, muddy pizza sauce, Beta 425. Well, that sounds pretty good. Actually, it sounds really good. Let's see. Brian says starting a long sardine fast tomorrow. Anyone in? Anybody want to do a sardine fast with Brian? I think he was going for another 21-day sardine fast. Yeah. It does sound good, doesn't it, Aisha? Good morning, Rick. Says, I guess it must be cold there. It's not warm yet. It's still pretty chilly. What was it this morning when I got up? It was still like 47 degrees out. It's supposed to hit the low 70s today here. So, but we don't have the heat on the house, so the house is actually, I think the house is down in the low 60s overnight. Still sitting here with a jacket on, that's why. It was cheesy delicious. It sounds like it'd be a cheesy delicious pizza. There you go, Dustin. Uncle Willie just subbed to you on Rumble. Wisecracker says, I make fish patties. They taste nasty. We add Greek yogurt with lemon, turns them into dessert quality. Really? You listening to this, Aaron? That's different. Aaron says, Aisha, not since my live on Monday last week. Need to make this video today. I have some sardine reviews ready to go. There you go. Yeah, there are two different ones going on here. I got the vertical and the regular live stream. That's why I put the comments on the screen so that they can be seen. Aaron says, I love making salmon patties with canned salmon, pork rinds, and Parmesan cheese. I found, I can't remember what the name of the brand was. They just came out with a chili lime pork rinds that's not too bad. Of course, they do have some sugar in it, but it's not very much, and it didn't budge my CGM at all. Everybody's saying hi. Yeah, Wisecracker, if you haven't seen, Aaron's got a channel too. Check out his channel. He actually does some reviews on sardines. Keto Simple has a channel. Charger Mopar Rick has his channel. Thomas has his Target Prime Rib. Get some good information from these guys. There you go. How do you make those fish patties, Wisecracker? See, mackerel, onions, little cheese. Don't like them without the yogurt on top. Yogurt on top of fish. I don't know if that sounds good or not. And Angie says I have to eat leaner to lose right now. You totally get too much fat doesn't help me lose. Right, and that's the lipotoxicity, and it's just your fat stores are full, and so you can't have the really high fat carnivore diet like the 70% of your calories or more coming from fat. You have to break it down just a little bit and try between 50 and 60 to see if that works better for you and get your body into burning your own body fat. It's actually what I'm doing right now. I'm going to try for the next 2 weeks to eat a lower fat. I'm shooting for 60% of my calories coming from fat just to see what the difference is. I'm going to track my weight daily, and I've got a little spreadsheet that I'm going to watch and track my food, my calories, and the calories from fat, stuff like that. I used to do that all on my Fitbit, and when Google bought Fitbit, they were going to keep everything the same. And in the last month, they completely did away with the Fitbit app, which had a great tracking system for food for macros and stuff. And they replaced it with their version of it, and their version sucks. So I don't like it. Ice scoops are getting in the way. But yeah, some people do need to cut back on a lot of what they're eating. It's like eating this right here, just ground beef and shrimp. Now there was a little extra butter in there from the shrimp, but this was a 93.10 or 93.7 ground beef, and then the shrimp. That the calories from fat on that is actually really low. So you can add a little bit of butter to it for extra flavor. It's just a little bit different. Let's see, where is that at? What did I have today? Oh, this morning I had the this is just kind of screwy here. Oh, okay. This morning I had a pound of ground beef with the 8515, and the 8515 gives you, it's basically a 50-50 split for calories from fat and calories from uh, protein. You have to add a little bit of butter to it to make it come out properly. So it's just a little bit different. Yeah, it takes a little more tracking, a little more being careful on what you're eating to make sure you get what you need on them when you're doing that. Aaron says I had to cut back on eating bacon and cooking in bacon grease. Yeah, some people do. I actually like cooking in the bacon grease. The last couple meals I've had, I haven't had to add anything to it. I didn't even add any butter to these here yesterday, just to find out where I'm at and how my body is doing on it. Tom said this. I'm doing it with Jerry, Aaron, Kelly, Amy, with Rick as a judge. Okay, so you're all doing your own versions of it at the same time. That's gonna be a heck of a live stream. What time is that's on at 6 p.m. Eastern or 7 Eastern tonight? That's gonna be a good one. Hey, Bride's Biscuit, Mr. Biscuit, how are you today? Nice to see you in the chat again. It's not gonna be so much about going to the gym. All right. But you've gotten back there, so that's what matters, right? Getting a little bit of exercise in and working your muscles. Going to do a month of lying, hoping it will help me with my depression lately, but not sure if it will do, if you'll do a video. I get that, Thomas. And it sucks that you're going through stuff like that right now. And I understand that part of it. I do. Eating different foods and stuff does affect your mental health. Going more of a strict lion, I think, will help. And it helps me out too when I eat more of a lion diet. Go back to basically carnivore basics when I first started. Made a huge difference, and that's why one of the things I cut out the coffee. I'm going to do straight water for a little bit just to see, along with eating just lion diet for the next 2 weeks, on how I feel. That's it. I'm leaving and making a video now. Well, after this meeting, right? So, and sometimes you just say you have to be in the right mood to do them, Aaron. Sometimes, even last week, I sat down here in my desk. I had an idea. I had everything set up, and I just sat here because it just didn't feel right. So it just kind of sucks. Sometimes you just have to be in the mood to do a video, and sometimes it just doesn't work. Found a way to finally make shorts from your lives. Awesome. I know StreamYard, I can do that with StreamYard too. I don't like doing them from my lives generally. I think I've only done that once, but with StreamYard, you have to pay to be able to do them. And I don't. I pay a certain level, and you can only get so many shorts that you can pull off of your videos. So I don't do a whole lot of them like that anymore. Thomas says, that's okay. I love sardines, but 21 days sounds fishy. It does sound a little bit fishy, doesn't it? Hey, Captain Carnivore. Good morning. It's nice to see you here. I do enjoy your Friday fireside. Is that fireside chats that you have? I do enjoy your Friday afternoon live streams that you do. It's always a good time. I am so happy I got to see you, and also Carnivore Ron. It was nice seeing him in there too. Aisha says, I'm sorry you're having trouble with your depression, Thomas. Yeah, it does suck. Bryce Bissett says, I almost want to do a sardine fast, but I just got a chuck roast on sale, and it's calling my name. Well, you can always try that later. Eat that chuck roast and then start the sardine fast. He's going to do it for 21 days, so you can do it for a week with him. Guido Simple says, thanks, Uncle Willie. Shell Bell, hey, good morning. It's nice to see you here this morning, Shell Bell. Yep. Mr. Biscuit. I don't do it the same as you do there, Dustin, but every time I see Bryce Biscuit now, that goes through my head as your Mr. Biscuit with him. And it makes me chuckle every time. Wisecracker says, anybody have gut health issues from mushroom? Costco has them from Canada. They're the ones from China. Could be sketchy. I don't do a whole lot of mushrooms anymore, so no, I don't have gut health issues from mushrooms. Anybody else? You hit 11K on YouTube just a few minutes ago. Awesome. Congratulations. You gonna grow your own mushrooms? I have wild mushrooms growing right outside my house here, actually right out by the street. There used to be a tree there, and before we moved in here, that tree had been cut down long ago. so it's rotting just a few inches under the ground. And every year when it rains, when it gets to the wet season, we have mushrooms that grow where that stump is because it's coming out of it's using the rotted wood as nutrients. Bryce basically says Thomas had some carbs last week, and for 2 days I had depressive episodes creep back in. Good luck with lying. Yeah, and it really sucks when you get waylaid like that. So you have to be careful if you're going to be bringing stuff in. You have to be ready for what can happen. Thomas says, thank you, Isha. Been doing some research on my symptoms and I'm finding low testosterone can't cause much of it. So I'm calling my doctor to get tested. Yep. Test to find out. That was pretty much the theme last night in Grandma's chat. It says, Thomas, start watching you after you were with Jenny. Oh, you started watching him after his interview with Jenny? Thomas has got a good channel, Aaron. Yep. Yeah, Thomas has been having some issues here. Jeff says, congratulations on 11K, Dustin. Aisha says, Thomas, it's good that you're on top of it and proactive. Most people aren't. I've suffered with it before, and my brother has it right now. Yeah. Brian says, had a ribeye, shrimp, boiled eggs this morning, and we are making Thomas nachos tonight. Then those glorious little fish tomorrow. It sounds like a good plan going into the sardine fast. Yeah. See, Thomas says, Aisha, I mentioned yesterday a couple of people called me stupid, so thank you for seeing that. Why would they do that? And yeah, it's just not nice people. Wisecracker says, Aldi has Greek yogurt, lemon flavored, is incredible on fish patties. I still don't know about doing yogurt on fish. It's just weird to me. I don't know if I could do it. Oh, Aaron, could you do that? Could you put yogurt on fish patties or Brian? Angie? Aaron says, I'm actually doing a video recording with Dave Mack this week. In a few weeks with Kilts. Dave Mack is really good. And I haven't been on Kilts. I was supposed to be on Kilts about a year ago. When they switched from, they're doing their live stream at 5 a.m. Eastern, and they switched to 6 a.m. Eastern. I was actually supposed to be on it right about that time, and when they switched it, I wasn't able to be on it because I'm at work at that time then. Bridesmaid says, I get Thomas, I'm diagnosed MDD, PTSD, and about 8 other mental health diseases for the past 15 years. Most in remission as of 2025 under Carnivore, off of 13 meds. So you have people here, Thomas, that are going through similar things that you're going through and that you've been through. There's a group of people that really can help out as a sounding board. They can't give you medical advice, and you know that, but they can give you what worked for them. Bryce Biscuits had a lot of these issues and has come off of them. Aaron just recently was taken off of his type 2 diabetic medications by his doctor. So, I mean, just here in this chat, you've got 2 people who can really help with information on what they've done to help heal themselves. Yeah. And it is amazing what people have done for themselves by doing this stuff. Yeah, Target doesn't have much of a sardine selection. I know I picked up one can there that I haven't seen in other places, but they only had like two different varieties of sardines, and Target's just not a good one to be at. Yeah. Angie says, Dustin, she had her husband subscribe to your YouTube this morning. Maybe he was the 11K. That'd be cool. That her husband is a Gen X tech nerd. I like his name too. Captain Carnivore ground beef and shrimp looks amazing with butter, of course. Absolutely. And seasoning on this here, I don't get anything for it, but the seasoning on this is the Carnivore Companion Gator Bite. It is an amazing seasoning that you can put on fish. Carnivorous Chef Reed, it's his seasoning that is on this. It's really good stuff. Bryce Biscuit says I started with yes, that diagnosis in 2011. That one finally went into remission this past year off all psychotropic tropics now as well. Got to throw those big words in there for me, right? I understand what Larry talks about when he talks about his teeth, because I don't have dentures, but I do have a bridge in the front. And just saying words and not having the feel of the real teeth in your mouth is just different. She says you're like her brother, which has some truth. My real sister has no filter either. Yeah, I haven't talked to my brother or my sister in years. Showbill says I started out eating a lot of fat, but I've had to cut back. So I'm up and down with my fat intake. Right now, I need more. And that does happen. As your body changes, you do have to make adjustments to it. In the beginning, if you're not losing weight, that'd be the lipotoxicity. As your body changes, your ability to store fat will also change too, and your ability to burn fat. So it is good to vary how you're eating and what you're eating just to keep your body from settling in and not not I don't know, I'm getting too used to the same thing all the time. Wisecracker says the best info besides carnivore I have come across is making good bacteria strains of yogurt. Dr. William Davis gets a toxicity out of the liver, blood, and cells. Yeah. There's a lot of good information on YouTube out there about different things that work. Yeah, there's good information on YouTube. YouTube, I've called it before YouTube University because you can learn so much on here. So many people are giving out good information for free. You can really learn a lot here. Brian says, Aaron, have you had your $13 can of sardines yet? $13 can of sardines? Oofta. I hope that's more than one can. I hope it's more than one serving in that. Yep, 7 Eastern, 6 Central. And that's going to be on all of the channels that Thomas mentioned earlier for that Heart Attack Pizza Challenge. That'll be interesting to watch. Aaron says, did have a cheat last night. Went to Texas Roadhouse. Had a roll. And how did it make you feel today, Aaron? Did you feel any different after having a roll? or was your body still okay? Aisha says, Wisecracker, I did some research on the turkey tail, and I don't think I can take it because my cancer is hormone receptor positive and it promotes estrogen. I'll have to ask my oncologist though. Yeah. So do I, Aisha. It's I did that to begin with. That was the last aches and pains that went away when I stopped drinking coffee in October of 2024. I stopped drinking coffee, stopped drinking alcohol on the same day. And within a few days, those last couple of aches and pains were gone, and I felt much better. Wisecracker says, yeah, never know unless you try it. It's $35 twice a month. Cured his mom's advanced stage 4 cancer. Yeah. Thomas Brisbane says, honestly, Thomas, for a big component was situational that had to bait to get where I am. I lost everything but regained my mental and physical health through Christ on the path of carnivore. Yes, sir. Uncle Charlie, good morning. How are you doing today? It's nice to see you here. Wisecracker. Isha says, Wisecracker just wanted you to know that I wasn't blowing you off and had every intention of looking in on it. Yeah. Uncle Charlie says, I cut out butter, bacon, and now you're losing inches. That's good. I'm going to a strict line diet here for at least 2 weeks just to see how my body does, and I'm going to try doing a lower fat, shooting for about 60% of my calories coming from fat for the next 2 weeks to see if that has any difference on how I feel, my weight, and I've also given up coffee for just water. See how that works for me. See if I can get rid of that pain in my wrist again. And the little one that I usually get in my foot hasn't come back, which is good. But I don't want that one coming back. I don't like walking with a limp. Thomas says, yeah, Bryce Gleason never been very religious, still have a hard time with that. I get that. Bryce says it's been a long, hard road and tough to see at times, but it can't rain every day. Look for the moments of peace. The sun does peek out at times. Lean on the community. We're all here for you. Yeah. Thomas, we are. And I remember seeing you for the first time in the Dante Rigno Zoom chats on Sundays and stuff. You've come a long way since then, Thomas. Shell Bell says, good morning, all beautiful people. For some reason, I was chatting in a different window, but I don't think it was going through. Yeah, I did not see anything on here. You had your original good morning, and that was all I saw. Yep. And Brian says, Uncle Charlie, I added bacon and butter. Extra stuff. Yeah. Well, we see Shell Bell now. I don't know if you're in somewhere different chatting or not. Bryce Biscuit says, no problem, Thomas. The Lord is always here. I was religious, went agnostic, then atheist. For decades, your path will be revealed. Give yourself grace. Yes, sir. Yeah, and Captain Carnivore says, that's another one there. It's Captain Carnivore. He's got a YouTube channel. Check out his channel. He's been doing lives on Friday afternoons, so. But he also does regular videos. And, one of his guests on his channel when I was on there Friday was Carnivore Ron. He's a older gentleman, and he's got some great results with his carnivore journey as well. So check out their channels. Give them some love. Shelba says, "Hey, it's always great to see you, along with many others." Yep. A lot of people don't understand broccoli, cauliflower are all sugar. And I used to love it. All plants are, Uncle Charlie, and that's a lot of people don't understand. And it takes some people a long time to get that through their head that every plant is made of carbohydrates, and all the carbohydrates that come from plants turn to sugars. It doesn't matter if it says it has added sugar or not, the carbohydrate load gets turned into a sugar, and it always does. People have a hard time dealing with that. We've been stomped in our heads for so long that they're all healthy and good for us, and they're not. Yeah, you stop eating them and the weight came off. That's the whole point of this diet is you stop eating that junk and the weight comes off. And it will. Aaron says, congrats on 11K, Dustin. You're getting close to the 250 mark. But if you help one person, that's all that matters. Absolutely. I haven't looked at mine for a while. I don't know where I'm at. Whoa. Say 409 now. Huh. Heck yeah. Looks like I made up to over 400. All right. Give me doing a video. Yeah, your hands are off the keyboard. You can be doing a video one day. Brisbane says, I pulled Pretzel Pete. I found some leftover jelly beans from Easter. I had about a dozen stomach distress, skin eruptions, and depression followed for days. Yes, that does happen. And there are times in the house here, because our youngest son, he still lives here. He lives in the basement. He does his own thing. He's 21. He'll be 22 here shortly. He works his full-time job. He has his own vehicles. He does everything on his own. But he eats here, and it's still unhealthy foods. Him and his girlfriend bring all kinds of stuff in the house. We have a granddaughter that stays with us about half the time, and we have so many temptations here, and some days it's really hard not to. It can be really, really tough. Dustin says, thank you, Aaron. You're doing the same thing, just trying to help others. Absolutely. That's what we're all here to do. And it's all sharing our experience one day at a time, one experience at a time, and hoping that what we share resonates with somebody and helps them. Aaron says, my porterhouse that has been dry aging. You can do a video on that porterhouse when you fire that up and cook it. That sounds delicious. That's what this was, a ribeye. And I smoked it it was a 2-pound, 10-ounce ribeye. I smoked for 2 hours, got to 108 degrees internal. I think it was 108. And I took it off and I cranked up my pit boss to 500 degrees. And I let it get kissed by fire like that for 45 seconds on each side. And man, was that good. That turned out absolutely delicious. Let's see. Okay, it's Uncle Charlie that brought it up. The sugar. There's probably more out there now. This I got this here slide about a year ago. There's 56 names for sugar, and every one of these names actually causes issues. Whether it's something that's called sugar free, but it has one of these sugars in there, it causes issues with the body. And they're actually finding that out now that just because it doesn't have a rise in the glucose doesn't mean that it doesn't impact your insulin. So it still may be causing you a tremendous amount of harm. So everything on here is a poison for your body. Bella says I have to up and down with eating fat. Like right now, you need to eat more fat. Yeah, and right now I need to cut out the amount of fat I'm eating because I think I'm eating too much fat. So for the next couple of weeks, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to try something different. I'm going to eat just 60% of my calories from fat, and I'm going to see if that helps kick in any fat burning for my body. Bryce because it's not just sugar, Uncle Charlie. Oxalates, phytates, tannins, lectins, and likely some glyphosate. Absolutely. There's all kinds of stuff on that. Aaron says, I wish I could go to the retreat next year that Jenny is hosting. I didn't know Jenny was hosting a retreat. That'd be cool too. Keto Simple says, Thomas, if someone is taking time to call you stupid, they need more than they know. Keep doing you, my friend. I'm in your corner, cheering you on. Yes, absolutely. And I 100% agree with Dustin on that, Thomas. Aaron says, yes, I could use yogurt as sauce. I don't know that I could. Hey, Keto Simple just subbed to you, Aaron. So your sub count just went up. Aaron, Brian wants to know if you've had your fancy can of sardines yet. Dustin says, Aaron, so much I want to do, but everything costs hundreds and hundreds of dollars. I don't know where people get this money. Me either. It's too much to get to some of these places, and the cost of these is just outrageous. Forgiveness Mondays will be back tomorrow, but it will be in the afternoon just because I have a few appointments. That works. So if you don't know what he's talking about, Aaron's going to have a live show tomorrow, Forgiveness Monday. He'll go live and we'll have a nice little chat just like this on Monday afternoon with Aaron tomorrow. Holy cow. This has gone quick. Let's see. The video will come out soon as well. Type 2 meds are gone. Congratulations. That is amazing. And as well, it could be like putting tzatziki sauce on lamb. It may be real good on crab and fish. I did not think about that, Angie. That'd be interesting. Yeah. Congrats on the meds. Med free. Let's see. Bridesmaid says, always here to listen and be a sounding board. Off 13 meds, just in mental health. Went off statins, blood pressure, pain management, neurologic, acid reflux, and others. Because that's what it does, right? And they get you on one med and it causes issues, and then you go to another one, and it just never ends. Aaron says, Dustin, I hear you. If I could only afford everything, is what to do, honestly. Paying for it, I would figure it out. Mother's Day weekend is hard. Yeah. Aaron says, not the $13 one yet. And Charger Mopar, Rick says that he makes yogurt regularly. So, Wisecracker, check out Rick and his channel. Talk to him about making yogurt. Try the $13 can tomorrow. Oofda. Bridesmaid says, I saw a video today of a recipe to use Greek yogurt as a marinade for chicken to help absorb spices into the meat. And you're going to try it. Let us know how that is. All right. Let's see. Wisecracker says, Aisha, I posted a turkey tail mushroom video in your most recent video. All right. Olive oil and truffle? Ooh. Are you allowed to have cheese and mayo on carnivore? You can have whatever you want on your carnivore diet. Cheese is dairy, so it has one purpose, and that's to fatten the animal that it's eating. And for mayo, they make some mayos. You can make a mayo from bacon fat and an egg. So it's completely carnivore, depending upon how you're getting it and what's in it. I wouldn't do most store brands because they're disgusting. Brian says most expensive can of sardines ever had was $32, and yes, you loved it. I hope you did for $32. And I have a hard time spending that much on a steak, right? Right? Everybody's like $32. You just found Dante Ferrigno the other day. Ah, Dante's just coming back into YouTube. He was gone for almost 6 months. Dante's got his older stuff is really good. I like his older content. Aaron says, I'm always glad to share my experience with anyone, the highs and the lows, right? Sharing the lows helps people to understand that not every day is a bed of roses and you can make it through. Yeah, Aaron says it's so hard to keep up with all the channels. I can only catch so many lives. Thank the Lord for replays, right? And weekends. Sometimes weekends can really help out. Real Conservera sardines can't afford them anymore, but they were great. That's just crazy. Wisecracker says it's good to chat with y'all. Same to you, Wisecracker. I like that I can still eat some veggies and I have good results. Yeah, and it's good to be able to do that, Aaron. I haven't found any that don't hurt me yet, so I still have a lot of healing to do. So one of these days, maybe I'll be all right. But as of right now, even doing some spices still hurt me. I can't do all the different stuff. Carbs are chains of sugar molecules. That is correct. Aaron says ultimately we have to find what works for us. If a little veg keeps me carnivore 90% of the time, then it's a win. Yeah, if you don't have any reaction to it and you don't have any issues with it, your blood sugars don't go out of control, absolutely it's a win. And if it helps you, why not? They Plants are meant to be eaten at specific times of the year. They're also a medicine. So we can take them, we can have them, but sparingly, not as a mainstay of our diet. Aaron says, I say I'm 85-ish carnivore, 10 to 12% keto, and the rest treat myself. That's right. It's not a cheat, it's a treat. Wisecracker says carnivore is so simple and works, but it's also easy to fall off of the wagon. It is, because there's so much out there that, and our programming for so many years has been not to trust the meat, and the meat's what we actually need. And John Together Strong says, Together Strong, sharing experience, strength, and hope one day at a time. And that's what it's all about. Charger Mopar, what do you make your yogurt with? What strains? Aaron says, I'm not sure how I am cooking the porterhouse. You got that smoker up yet? Angie, I was a little proud of myself last night because I made homemade pizza dough and regular pizza dough for the rest of the family. Then I cleaned up and made my keto pizza. Was it strict carnivore? No. Was it worth it? Always. You did a great job there. Yeah, way to go. Still way better than eating the pizza dough. Absolutely. And that's what it's about. You still had pizza, but you had it in a way that worked for you, and then you didn't have regrets, and you shouldn't. Uncle Charlie says, I can't speak. I have many herniated and bulging discs on my neck and back. I've been taking BCP 157. It's a peptide for a month. I feel like a new person. If you know anyone with problems like that, tell them. Yeah. I don't know what the BCP 157 is, but if it helps with the inflammation and it helps you and makes you feel better, it's not a bad thing. Doctor said it's better than stem cells. Possibly. Shellbell, Lord Blaine, I will catch you all this evening on CQ meeting. Have a blessed day. We'll see you then, Shellbell. Well, hello. What is this? Samoon? I am doing excellent. How are you? Captain Carnivore just subbed Aaron. Awesome. You watching from Pakistan, you're enjoying the content and trying to improve your English speaking skills. Well, that's great. It's nice to see you in here. Rick says the only way I use milk. That's for making your yogurt. Off meds still have fat fingers, right? And I noticed the last couple times I've done my walk, this finger right in here will start swelling while I'm walking. If I put my hand up like this and just wiggle my finger for maybe a minute, that goes away. Weird. Never used to do that. John says, I also make homemade yogurt, different strains, super simple. All right, Wisecracker, you have a great weekend. Have a great week, and we'll see you in the chats. Remember, tonight, Carnivore Quest is on at 7:30 Eastern, 6:30 Central, something like that. I can't remember. I have to look it up. Later, Wisecracker. Yeah, $32 for those sardines. Better do my laundry as well, right? Yes, it is. It can be. I am not as good as Rick as keeping up with the comments. Yeah, even a cat does eat grass. Sometimes they need something to make them throw up, so they'll eat the grass. I do only low oxalate spices, and of course, I backslide 1 or 2 times a year, and I pay for it. And I do too. There's some spices out there I like, and I'll have stuff, and it just I feel it. I wanted to. Brian says I wanted to add back some veggies, but when I did, they made me sick, so no more veggies. I'm good with that, right? Meat is my treat, and you had a nice meat haul yesterday, Rick. That was that was a nice steak you're cooking up, and you had some good cuts of meat sitting up on that counter. All right, Rick says if you don't get on the meat wagon, you can't fall off. That is true. Well, in New York City, cooking a porterhouse involves opening every window in the apartment and taking a line of credit, of course, right? Yeah, remember pizza night, 7 p.m., 6 Central. Hopping off. Thank you. I appreciate the Isha. You have a great day. And hey, I finally caught up. You all have a great day. Have a blessed week. We'll see you in the stream. Check out the pizza cook off tonight on Rick's channel, Amy's channel, Thomas's channel, and Jerry and everybody else that was listed earlier. I can't remember who they all were. They're going to be making Rick's heart attack pizza. Is that what it is, Rick? So check them all out. Have a great night, and we will talk to you all later.